Hi friends, it's Laura. I'm here to share this deconstruction and reconstruction of my journal with you guys. I was halfway into the process, or maybe not quite halfway, but I realized that maybe you might be struggling with the same dilemma I was struggling with. And I'm going to show you another journal from start to finish of what I'm talking about, but this one had what I believe we call alligator syndrome going on. Its mouth was so wide that I couldn't even use it for writing. I kept trying. So, like the first signature has been written in, but the rest of it, I couldn't get the thing to stay open well enough for me to even write in it. And I just love this journal. So, I'd been contemplating fixing it, but the idea of tearing it apart, I don't know why that bothered me so much, but I just procrastinated on it and I didn't tear it apart and tried to use it. And then I finally decided, why am I worried about tearing this thing apart? And I just went for it. Okay, first things, I've shown the outside cover of this in another video a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long, but a while ago when I first started my channel. And I showed the outside of this. It was an old planner, and I like to keep those, but it was spiral, and so I had to make a spine for it. And so I made this spine out of cardboard, a thick cardboard, and then I sewed it together with this crisscross stitch. So I have shown the outside of this before, but I never did show the inside, and I thought I would anyway share what I've done here. So like I said, it was huge and it wasn't working for me, and I clipped the signatures out. I just snipped through them, and then they loosened themselves out, obviously. And I went through signature by signature. This one has 5, and I just took out the pages that I hadn't used yet. Look at how many pages came out of there, and look how many are still left. So you can imagine how big I made this thing. And I get carried away with the papers. I think there are others of us out there that do that. But anyway, it was way too big. So I decided for this, and you know, if you're stuck with this dilemma and you're thinking, well, I loved all the papers that I put in there, how am I going to know what to take out? What I decided to do was to make this mostly a writing journal, and to take out the inspirational pages that I couldn't write on, or like envelopes that I hadn't put anything in yet. So for that part, you'll have to come up with your own idea of what you want to take out. And if you've already completed your whole journal and you've written in the whole thing, this video, well, probably isn't for you. But if you haven't completed your journal, or if it's in a state that you think you could deconstruct it, I just figured I would share it and show you that I took the plunge, I tore it up, and I'm going to put it back together. So what else also came out of it was all of this ephemera that I had stuck in there. So that's all come out of there too. And also my writing board was in there, and these other things. I really, honestly, even though it had an alligator mouth, I don't know how I got the thing to close. And you can see the little elastic band. It's out of shape now, so I don't know if that's going to end up working when I get this thing put back together. But what I'm going to do now is just bind it in one by one, and it seems like everybody who watches my videos already knows how to do that. I'm not really sure of the levels of whether you're beginner or novice or expert. So I'll show binding one of these in, then I'm going to go ahead and get them all bound back in, and I'll do a quick flip through of this one, and then I'll go to the other one and go through the process of how I'm selecting the papers. So I was just working away, adding in the signatures, and then I realized I didn't have the camera on. So I've already bound 2 of these back in here, and I bound 3 of these back in here. I've got 2 left to go, and like I said to you earlier, I promised I'm going to show binding one of these back in on camera. So I take my thread and do it 2.5 times the length of the spine. I do cut it off of the spool. I take my binding needle. This is the middle size one. Sometimes I use the great big one, but since the holes are already done, this is going to be pretty easy. I don't need that great big needle, and so I'm using my medium one. Line up our pages, as always, how we want them. And then we want to be sure that they don't stick out at the bottom. It's okay if stuff sticks out at the top because, well, I'll just say it's okay for me. I store my journals standing up most of the time. That's how I like to store them. And so I don't want anything hanging out at the bottom, but it's fine if it hangs out at the top. So after you find your center, where you want it, I need to take that out. Let's set that aside. Line it up with your holes. And then if you need to, use your awl and poke through the middle. Like that. And then take your needle and go right on through. And then I always go through the center first. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be done, but that's just the way I do it. And then I always go back through the top. And I've shown this so many times, I don't know if you want me to keep showing this, but maybe there's someone new to junk journal binding watching this video who would want to see this. Then pull your thread from your middle hole, leaving enough to tie a knot when we get finished. Then poke your hole in the bottom. Lining up with the hole at the bottom. And going back through with your needle. And then we're going to go back in the middle hole again. And we can snip that off. And I'm going to tuck those little tails in underneath. all tucked in. Whoop. Okay, so that's 3 of them, 4 of them actually back in. I'm feeling so much better about this journal now. It's going to be usable and manageable. As you might have noticed from my intro, I took a little trip to the beach, and these are my treasures I found. I thought I'd share them with you. Somehow I always get a little nod from the universe and just letting me know I'm on the right track. That's how I take it anyway. And I wonder about the things that I find, like how long were they there? You know, how long were they sitting there waiting for someone to find them? This earring, it's bent and smashed, and it was going to be there for however long until someone came along and found it. And this unicorn, the synchronicity of finding a unicorn, since I love them so much. And in this journal, I had taken it with me on the trip, and it's got unicorns in it. I love to find coins, and this little dangle. I'm not sure what that would have gone with or to. And these shells that I thought could make paperclip dangle ornaments or something like that. I found this one first, and then almost immediately after I had that thought, I found this one, and it already had the little hole in it there. And I thought, well, yeah, that I could just put a little hole in this one too, and slide that on a paper clip or on a spine dangle, either way. Anyway, I thought I'd just share those with you real quick. I'm always talking about the things I find, and I show you little tidbits here and there, but that's my little collection of findings. I have another quick treat for you guys in this video, and this one's going to be kind of full of little pop-up surprises. This is the latest Somerset Studio Magazine that I received when I got back home. Look at this cover. It's really pretty. I love these colors. I'm just going to do a quick pop through here, flip through, and show you the papers that are in it for sure, and just kind of flipping through the different pages. It's all beautiful as always, and I won't take up a whole lot of time with this, but wanted to just show it to you. If you don't subscribe to it, I don't know, I like to share it in case maybe you want to go out to the newsstand and pick it up or subscribe to it. I've been using some of the papers, and I made a journal with the front cover of one of them, and I might show that in another video sometime. Look at this piece. That one is really bright, really pretty. Always on the back, they're pretty plain, but they are designed. They're not just plain white. And I'm getting quite a collection of these now. They're so fun to, I love getting the magazine and finding out what papers I'm gonna have to work with. Pretty. Places to be creative in the magazines too. Here's another page of paper. I love teal, so of course I love this one. For those of you who comment routinely and engage with me, I really appreciate it. I love talking to you and communicating through the comments. You can always email me too if you want to, and I will get back to you. So it's beautiful again this time, you guys, and it came this time. I don't know if every time it has the exact same amount of papers in it. I can't remember, but this one, it has 8 pages of paper to use in your own journals, plus all the neat images inside. So I just wanted to pop that in here and share it with you today. So on with the alligator mouth fixing. This is now down to a good size, and it has still the 5 signatures in it. And again, all of this came out of there. I still can't believe I had all of this in there. And in addition to all of this ephemera, which I'm gonna try to put most of this back in there and do a quick flip through. I've used this, like I've mentioned before, I love this paper and I've bought it multiple times, so I have used it multiple times. This is clothing tags that I've just decorated up a little bit. A little tag. Can put this little writing spot here. Well, I found these little postcards in a thrift store haul one time, and they were in here, so I'm going to keep them in. I'm going to see, will they fit here? it all fit back in, and it's the perfect size. I am super happy with this. I wish I had rebuilt it a year ago instead of fighting it and waiting. And anyway, if you're in this situation, I encourage you to go ahead and remake that journal, make it manageable. Or maybe you love yours just so wide that it has an alligator mouth. But anyway, if you feel inspired to go ahead and do it, it's doable. And then, you know, you'll have all of this that you take out of it left over to make a whole nother journal or two, maybe. All right, now on to the next one. You guys, look at this thing. Can you believe that? How in the world I ever thought I needed to stuff that much in one journal? I do not know. But it's got the same syndrome as the other one. It's just really, it's not very workable. So I'm gonna get into taking the pages out of here. I've already done a flip through of this one in a full video a while back on my channel, so I won't go through all that. And so anyway, first things first, we just need to, and I know this might be hard for you to do this. You've put all this work into it, and now here we are. We're gonna tear our journals up, but it's okay. Like we saw earlier, it goes back together and it's much better in the end. So just snipping this out. I went ahead and snipped the top and the bottom. It made it easier to get it out. And I'm also holding on to this bag of goodies to stuff in here too. Certainly it's not fitting as it is, so maybe it'll fit back in later. And the second one, the first one is already written in, so I'm going to use the second one to show just kind of how I decided to, I guess, cull the pages and take some out. I decided, even though I love these pages, I'm going to take them out because I can't really write on them. They're inspirational, they're lovely. I'm going to use them another day, another journal. There's another one. Take it out. I ran into that some of these were glued together, so I had to be careful in taking them apart. I didn't want to tear anything up. And even though this has a journaling spot on it, I'm going to go ahead and remove it anyway. Okay, I got 2 pages out of that so far. I may have to go back and take some more out of there. That's still pretty bulky. Let's see what I can take out of this one. And last but not least, let's see if we can take anything out of here. I'm going to take this page out. I want to keep this cluster. I'm gonna have to do some major taking out. This didn't do enough. It's still bigger than I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do, and I hate doing this, I really love this about this journal, but I'm gonna take these pages off the top of the signatures, and that is gonna free up a lot of space in this journal. So there's 4 of those in here. All right, that was a lot of the bulk. And these will make nice something else. Yeah, I'm gonna take them out. And that does it. It gets the journal back down. It's not gonna take away the warp that's in here. I've taken this journal with me to the beach, and it's kind of warped the top because it was such an alligator mouth journal. But it's at least manageable now, so that when I open it up, I'll be able to write in it. It'll lay flat. So that's the process I went through. I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to bind it back together, but since I showed the process of putting a signature back in the other journal, I won't bore you with that with this one. And I have another little treat for you. Look at this cute rock. And this little gnome with dragonflies. And I really like these wooden things, so I picked up these memory ones, some owls, these crosses. These kind of reminded me of the chakra flowers. And these, thought those were pretty. They had this elastic band stuff that would be great for, it's the exact same stuff as this. So that's a lot of it. It says there's 10 yards here. That is a lot of elastic. And I think they had other colors. So that was a great find. And then look at these. Are these the coolest? They're leather looking. Those are really cool. I'd never seen these before. And they had these, look at these, this pretty napkin. And there's 2 full images per napkin and 14 napkins in the pack. Just thought I'd quickly share those with you guys. Maybe you want to pop out to Dollar Tree and check it out and see if yours has any of that stuff. We've come to the end of our time together for this video, you guys, and I've really enjoyed being with you. Here's everything that came out of the second journal, and I'm looking forward to using this in another way. So I already showed the other stack several times. That's the stack of the second journal, and I came out with 2 pretty usable journals now. Both close nicely, open nicely, so I can write in them. And I'm happy that I did this. I changed the tassel a little bit on this one, but I added this hook, and this is necklaces that had broken. I've mentioned this before, but I combined them on this piece of chain, and then here's how the beads are now. So the tassel is now removable, so that's kind of fun. I like these removable tassels. Thank you all for being here again, and until next time, I wish you happy treasure hunting, and I wish you so much joy, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye.